need to approach every potential client or customer with a positive attitude, despite exactly what I just said earlier, despite what you may have going on within your organization. We should not burden our clients or our customers with the inner workings of your organizations. Are pretty much stepping in on a positive note, and it all begins with a great attitude. So, believe it or not, most customers will notice in any transaction how the salespeople make them feel, right? So, I can recall going to a restaurant, a fast food restaurant, and just walking away as if I have spent my hard earned money and the person on the other end was not deserving. They were not appreciative of my time, let alone my resources and my finances. So we need to make sure, going back to this previous slide, we need to make sure that every transaction, every encounter, every process, every sales that we start off with a great attitude, because you want your clients and your customers to walk away feeling like they are appreciative, that you value their time and you value their resources, let alone you value their money. And if we do that, then we can almost guarantee repeat customers. So, in establishing that attitude, we need to make sure that we look the part, but not only we look the part, we sound the part, and we dress the part. But appearance, not only as I just stated, it appearance has to do with the physical appearance. You know, when you dress well, you feel good and you present yourself in a better light. But also, your appearance also reflects your attitude. So we need to lead with our attitude first and make sure that, like I just said, if you dress the part, you will feel the part. If you dress professional, you will feel professional. You will project professionalism. So we need to make sure that we not only look the part as far as delivering customer service, but we also speak the part, we act the part, and we behave the part as well. With that being said, the power of a smile. So it's really important that when we are engaging our clients, whether that's in person, over the phone, via email, that we are projecting a positive, friendly environment, a professional experience, a welcoming experience. And this is the major element as far as customer retention, is helping your clients and your customers to feel welcome. That's so important. And it's so many times we underestimate the power of a smile, right? And let's be honest, sometimes you just don't know what somebody may be going through. And it just may be your interaction, your smile, your demeanor that has literally turned the trajectory of their day around. So it's very important to, it goes back to what I just said earlier about your attitude, about having a positive attitude and leading with a welcoming, genuine smile. And that is a great retention tool when you're thinking about preserving customer relationship. It's very also important to remain energized. Yes, we understand that sometimes our work days are extremely long, and this not only deals with the dealing with external customers, but also dealing with your peers, your colleagues, that because they are also our internal customers as well, right? Let's not forget that. So during the course of your day, despite how your day may be going, it's very important that we try our best to stay energized. And here are some tips to do that. You can make sure that you're eating well. You can plug into others' energies, right? Do you understand that sometimes when you have negative people around you, you kind of feel those negative vibes, and before you know it, you start feeling down and worn out too. So we tend to draw from other people's energies that's around us. So, with that being said, if you find yourself feeling kind of sluggish and down and negative, find the most positive person in your within your organization and draw from some of their positivity. It does wear off. It does rub off on to each other. So just be mindful of the company that you keep, because if you are around negative Nancy, you're going to start feeling negative as well. But if you are around positive, you will be just as positive and upbeat and energetic as Sally is, because you are um, feeding off of their energy, their vibe. So plug into others as well to try to draw some of that positive and energetic energy. Listen to upbeat music. That also helps keep you in the mood, and help to project some of that positivity. And also stay humorous. There is something humorous that goes on throughout our day. So even if you're having a hard moment, just take a breath, take some time out, and reflect on something funny that has happened to you maybe earlier that day, earlier that week, and just draw some of that positive energy from reflecting back onto something good that has happened to you. Goes back to what I just said, staying positive. And some of the other ways you can stay positive is also by changing up your workplace. In some more vibrant colors. You can bring in some plants. Like I said, listening to music, learning and trying new things. And most importantly, checking your attitude, making sure that your attitude and your outlook on your day is positive. So one of the first things in improving customer service is to determine what your customers value in their interactions with your organization. What is it that your customers want? Why are they coming to see you? What do they need? What are some of the obvious ways to find out what your customers want? Is to ask them. Don't come in um, being presumptuous. Don't come in assuming you already know why your customers are there. Okay, find out, inquire, ask them what it is that they are needing, that they are wanting from your organization. So don't come in there with any preconceived notion, because that's one of the ways that you can start your customer relationship on a downward spiral, by just walking in there with this attitude that you already know what they need. Okay, you always want to kind of lead what your clients may be looking for, but you want to allow them that opportunity to tell you and express to you, so that there are no misunderstanding, there are no waste of time, and that they know that you have a good understanding of what it is they are needing from you at that particular moment. I can remember a time trying going out to purchase a vehicle, and we all have probably had this experience or something similar. You go into a dealership and you are telling the sales rep what type of vehicle you were looking for, but instead of them listening to you, they're telling you what they want to sell to you. And if you're anything like me, you'll want to walk out, because that's not why I'm here. You're not going to try to sell me what you want to sell me. You're going to listen to me and understand what my needs are. And if you can't do that, we have to put ourselves in our customers' shoes. And again, we don't want anybody to approach us with that pushy salespeople, mentality. We all want to be heard, and we want to feel like we are being heard and that we're being understood. So let's also give our customers and clients that same respect. Goes back, so understanding the customer situation, it goes back to what I just said. Allow your customers to communicate to you what their needs are. and learn from their customers' experience. We can learn from dealing with our customers, and we can also set ourselves up for success if we just allow them the opportunity to express to us what it is that they are walking into our organizations to receive. And we just talked about coming in with these preconceived notions, um, but I also want to hit on not to judge our customers or our clients by their experience. Okay, we don't want to just look at somebody and automatically know what their needs are, or look at them and judge them as if they may not know what it is they are looking for, what they are talking about. And even if that is the case, listen to them, and you may be able to show yourself as the expert in that particular area by listening to them, and then you can allow the opportunity to present itself to educate them, to share with them more knowledge and feedback on that particular service or product that they are looking for. So set yourself up as being the expert in that field. So, and don't, like I said earlier, go in there trying to be a pushy salesperson. Nobody likes a pushy salesperson, so don't don't do that. So, in meeting those basic needs for your customer, you want to make sure that number one, you are always friendly. Okay, lead with a smile, lead with that positive attitude, and also express empathy for your patients, for your clients, for your customers, in whatever field you are working in. You want to always present yourself as being empathetic to what your clients or your customer needs are. You want to always be fair, and you want to be informative. But going the extra mile is so important. We tend to and think about all of the customer service interactions that you have personally dealt with. When I reflect back, I always remember those who have gone the extra mile, right? We are all here to do a job. We're paid to do a job, but it leaves an impressionable mark when you not only do your job, but you leave an impression on your customer that, yes, I do value my job, but I value them as well. And I want to make sure that they understand that I'm here to serve them, and I want them to feel as if they are appreciated. Right? Goes back to what I said earlier. We all want to feel appreciated, especially when you work hard for your money. Wherever business you're walking into, you want to feel as if they appreciate your time, they appreciate your resources, and they value you as not only a customer, but as a human being. So, going the extra mile, one way you can go the extra mile is by remembering your customer's name, especially your repeat customers. You should know your customers. And even if you don't know them by name, you should know what their likes are, what their dislikes are. You should be staying in contact with them and updating them on any, specials you may have coming up. If they, send you an email or Facebook message, or even a phone call, you want to get back in contact with them promptly. So those are some of the ways in which you are going the extra mile to show your customer or your client that they matter. We all want to matter. So let them know that they matter to you. So people in business understand that it takes 5 times more in effort to attract a new customer than it is to keep your existing customer. So, with that being said, it's really important that we take some of those other things that we had just talked about, going the extra mile, learning your customers or your client's name, learning what they like, what they dislike, what they expect when they are interacting with your organization. Is really important to have a customer retention program in place, not only at the point of sale, but it goes back before the sale. When they are calling your organization, you're already setting a precedence. You're already setting a tone of your business, right? So you want to make sure that you're setting your organization up for success even before they step foot into your door. Your website, making sure that your website is easy to maneuver, making sure that it is, vibrant, is professional, it is, accessible, is easier to get to different pages, making sure that your social media pages are current, up to date. So these are some of the ways that you can make sure that you are developing that customer rapport, developing that customer relationship, even before they step foot into your actual business. So we should be thinking about customer retention from day one. That first interaction with that customer, doesn't matter what form of interaction it is, that very first interaction, you should be thinking about customer retention at that very at not following up with our clients or our customers. Some of us as business owners or um, corporate leaders, clients, consultants, coaches, we stop at the sale. We stop after the initial contact. And one of the major parts of customer service is the follow-up. It's such a powerful tool. And even if you're in, whether it's a service-based business or a product-based business, you should have something in place where you can follow up with your clients or your customers and gain their valuable feedback. Not only that, find out if they are enjoying their purchase from you. Find out if they found your services to be of any value. Find out if there is anything that they liked or disliked about your business, your organization, or their overall interaction with you. So follow up, follow up, follow up. I cannot stress that enough. Don't just stop at the point of sales. We need to go beyond that. We need to start enveloping that customer relationship, right? Because it goes back to what I just said. It takes 5 times more of an effort, advertising, marketing, to attract new customers than it does to retain your old or your current customers. So there's power in the tool of following up. So follow up. I cannot stress that enough. So let's talk about addressing complaints. So even though organizations, we as business owners or entrepreneurs, this is one area that we do not look forward to dealing with, right? Is customer complaints. But let's be honest, you can have the best business in the world. You can have the best service in the world. You can have the best product in the world. And there is going to be somebody that is not going to be happy with whatever it is you're selling or whatever you are offering. And that's okay. That's the nature of the business. So let's talk about how to overcome some of those obstacles in dealing with customer complaints. So first thing we need to do is to take those complaints seriously. We as customers want to be heard. Goes back to put yourself in your customer's shoes. It makes anybody angry when you feel as if no one is taking you seriously or they don't value your input, your thoughts, how you're feeling about a certain situation. And it adds insults to injury when you feel as if you're not being heard. Our customers are the exact same way. So when they bring a complaint to us, it's very important as thought leaders, as provider of services or products, that we are taking their concerns, very seriously. It's very important to listen. Don't just hear them, but listen to what they're saying. People will tell you what it is that they are not happy about. Just listen to them. And not only that, be respectful. We sometimes people may come in hot and heavy, and we will talk about that a little bit later on in this presentation. But when they're coming to you, even if they're hot and heavy, listen, be respectful, and don't be so quick to want to give a response. Okay, listen to what it is they are telling you. Then we can formulate a game plan and how to resolve what their complaints are. So even if we're dealing with somebody who has issues with our organization or with our business, you can turn that difficult customer into somebody that's the major advocate for your business. Even if you cannot provide the answers that they are looking for, it goes back to it's not always what you say, it's how you say it, right? And goes back to you having that positive attitude and making sure that the buck stops with you. Okay, even if you can't physically provide the services they are looking for, even if you have to refer them to somebody else, if your customers feel as if you value them, if you hear them and you respect them, even if you have to transfer them to somebody of a higher authority, they feel as if you understood and you're taking ownership of what it is that they are distraught about. Sometimes you have to tell your customers no. Let's just be honest, right? There are times where we may not be able to solve their issues. But if that's the case, it really goes back to communication. Why can you not help them? And if you have to say no, explain to them why you have to say no. And if you have to say no, offer other alternatives to, ways they may be able to get their issues resolved. For example, let's say you have a customer walk in and they saw this sale that you are offering online. They walk into the store and realize that maybe that sale has already expired. Well, if you can't offer them that 50% off discount, then give them other alternatives that you may have currently going on. Maybe you can offer them free shipping. If they purchase a certain amount, maybe you can offer them instead of 50% off, you can offer them 25% off. So if you have other alternatives to what it is they are coming in complaining about, make sure that you mention those alternatives. And never know, that might be something that may be sufficient to them. But if you don't communicate that with your customers, and if you just leave them feeling as if they've just wasted their time and energy and money and resources with you, then they are not going to be happy. And then 9 times out of 10, they're not going to refer your business. Offer them proof as to why you have to tell them no, right? Show them in black and white. And goes back to that example that I just used. If they're coming in with a coupon that has already expired, show them that it has expired. So long story short, just do not just leave them hanging. Take ownership of their concerns and really help them feel as if the buck stops with you. So we're talking about in-person customer service now. So in-person customer service is a wonderful way for you to, goes back to what I said very early on, start to build that rapport with your customers. And even when you talk to them over the telephone, when you are exchanging with them via text or email, social media, is something about in-service customer service that really you can really rely on body language. You can rely on facial expressions. It's just a great person-to-person way of starting to build those interpersonal relationships. And in our course of the day, we know that sometimes we may have, deadlines that we have to reach, or, very important phone calls, or whatever you that may can take your attention away from dealing with your customers. Sometimes you're just in such a rush or just such a dilemma to where you feel as if you really don't have that time to avert to your customers. I want to encourage you to take the time. If your customers are bringing you a concern, despite deadlines, despite, very important phone call, address them. I can recall times of walking in a store and somebody is, deep into a conversation, and I'm, wandering throughout the store, and nobody has taken the time to acknowledge that I've even walked into their business. And to be honest, I've even walked out because, I felt as if no one saw me, no one acknowledged me. I was not important. So even if you are dealing with other customers, at least speak. Hi, welcome to such and such and such. I will be with you momentarily. Just acknowledge that your customers are there. And that just goes back to helping them feel welcome into your business, because people are spending their hard-earned money with you. People are spending their time with you. So we need to make them feel as if they are valued in our organization. So even if you are hit with a time constraint, make sure that we are making our customers and our clients feel like they are welcomed in our organizations. So here are some of the advantages and disadvantages of in-person customer service. So some of the disadvantages of in-person customer service is time consuming. Yes, sometimes it is a bit time consuming to just be able to deliver that one-on-one personable service. It can also lead to some complicated discussions. Sometimes it's very easy when you're dealing with face-to-face business to get pulled and drawn into these long, drawn-out conversations, right? It has happened to the best of us. However, dealing with those in-person customer service builds confidence. It builds confidence in your customers that they can rely on you, that they know that if there is a need, they can come to you and feel as if you're going to resolve it. It also increases customer satisfaction. It helps your customer to feel, just like I said, that you have their best interests at heart. So and there are so many ways that we can show that we have our customers' best interests at heart. And some of those ways is by body language. It's very hard to, it's pretty much impossible to show body language through a telephone call other than, smile or your tone of voice. But in person, when you're having that face-to-face communication, they can see your body language. They can see where you are understanding their needs, their concerns, and they can feel personable and feel as if they can trust you to take care of them. So it goes back to what I just said, body language. Use that body language to your advantage. Because one thing about body language is that it does not lie, right? So if you are not genuine in dealing with your clients or your customers, especially in person, they can see that. So when you're talking with them, give them that eye contact. Give them that facial expression. Watch your posture. Don't be looking off when they are talking to you, because then you kind of appear as you are disengaged. You are not interested. So make sure that we are nodding, we're giving those gestures, that we're actively listening to them, and that we are understanding what their needs and concerns are. So we understand the success of the interaction with these clients depends entirely on your tone of voice when you are dealing with customers over the phone. It's very different dealing with customers over the phone than you are in person, because in person you can rely on those body languages. You can look your clients or your customers in the eye so that they can understand that you see them, that you hear them, that you're there for them. Over the phone, it's a little bit different because you don't have the active body language on your side. So when you're dealing with clients and customers over the phone, it's very important that you are mindful of your tone of voice, that you're mindful of your word choices, and that you are mindful on how you are projecting yourself across the telephone. So some of the advantages and disadvantages of telephone communication, some of the positive is you can dedicate group, you can give thinking time, and some of the negative disadvantages is it some people may feel less confidence in you, or it may take them longer to trust you, longer to feel as if you truly have their best interest at heart. So some of the telephone etiquette. So when you are getting phone calls, you want to make sure that you're answering your calls promptly. A good rule of thumb is you want to at least pick up your phone by the third ring. Even if you have to put a client on hold, you want to at least answer that call, okay? When you answer the call, you want to just not only name the name of your business. Like, there are some places that I call, they just tell me, hi, they just give me the company name. I don't know who I'm talking to. So we want to make sure that we answer the call promptly, but you want to also give your clients your name, your business name, and then follow up with how may I help you. You want to speak clearly. You want to identify yourself just like what I just said. You want to explain if you have to transfer a call. Don't cold transfer a call. I cannot stress that enough. It's unprofessional, and it's a sure way for you to make sure to anger your client. If they don't understand what's going on, it's bad enough I can't see you, but then you're going to blind transfer me to somebody else that I have to explain why I'm calling a second, third, or fourth time. Let's not do that. So you want to make sure that you are explaining the process of that call throughout, from beginning to end. And if you have to transfer a call, make sure that your clients are aware. And let your clients hang up first. Even after we have completed the conversation, we have, solved our customers or our clients' need, allow them the opportunity to hang up first, just in case they may have an additional question. Who likes calling in repeatedly? No one. No one. So don't be so quick to be the first to hang up your call. Let your clients hang up first. So some tips and tricks of telephone etiquette. Smile. People can hear your smile through their phone. Yes. So make sure that when you're answering the calls, you're answering it with a smile. You're pleasant. You have a great attitude. Try not to use a lot of slang or jargon, acronyms. You don't want your call to become complicated. So make it as simple and to the point as you possibly can. Lead with positivity. Even if you're having a bad day, your customers don't care. They really don't. So make sure that you are as positive as you can possibly be. Actively listen to your clients. Listen to what their needs are. Don't be presumptuous. Listen and let them tell you what their needs are. That will help you to deliver great customer service. And also take notes. And if you're in a field where you have to take notes, try to take notes during that call, okay? Because you don't want to rely on your memory. So if you have to take notes during that call or immediately after so that you can thoroughly document what that call was about. If that customer has to call back in for whatever reason, if there's a thorough documentation already on file, it just makes that whole second call a whole lot easier because they don't have to go into every little bit of the call, because the previous caller has done a great job in documenting their concerns. So document as soon as possible. So let's move on to electronic customer service. So we know that electronic customer service is growing, especially since COVID-19. There is a lot of customer service now being provided either through social media. So we need to make sure that we are also providing great electronic customer service. So some of the advantages and disadvantages of electronic customer service is that it is convenient, it's easy, it's fast, it's efficient, but it's also impersonal and cold. And it just does not provide all of the information. So keep that in mind when you are interacting with your customers or your client via electronically. So let's talk about netiquette. So when you're dealing with your clients or your customers electronically, you want to always be professional, right? Same as if you were dealing with them over the phone or if you were dealing with them in person. You want to avoid the jargons, the slang. You want to make sure to avoid the text to speak. And because dealing with it electronically makes it permanent, right? There's a permanent record of it. Whether you send it via email, whether you send it Facebook Messenger, or however electronically you are interacting with your clients. You want to stay and make sure that it's always professional. So some of the tips and tricks goes back to what I said. Pick your words. Pick your words wisely. You want to make sure to avoid ambiguity, and you want to keep it simple. Don't make the whole conversation very complex. You want to also make sure that you are providing as much information as you possibly can in that first interaction, right? Because it's very easy to get drawn into what we call the electronic ping pong, where you only provide just a little bit of information. Your customers come back with more questions, and then you provide just a little bit more information, and then their customers come back and they still don't have a lot of clarity. You want to try to avoid that back and forth communication and be as clear and as informative as you possibly can from day one. So let's talk about how you can deal with difficult customers and how to turn your difficult customers into repeat customers. So as I stated very early on in this workshop, we are going to have opportunities where we will have difficult customers. Sometimes customers have a legitimate reason of being upset, and sometimes they really don't. But either case, it's really important that you are as prepared as you possibly can in dealing with them, and also look for alternative ways and turning that negative into a positive and winning that customer back. So one of the first things you want to do is try to de-escalate the anger. You want to make sure that you keep yourself in a professional atmosphere, in a professional mindset, in a professional demeanor as you possibly can. You want to make sure that you are speaking calmly. You want to make sure that you are actively listening. You want to make sure that you are understanding the source and the cause of their frustration, and also express to them that their concern is also important to you. So you want to make sure that they feel comfortable in understanding that you are there to resolve their issue. You want to establish some common ground. You want to help them to understand that you are on their side, that you understand what they need, and that you're going to do your best in reaching that goal. You want to also allow them the opportunity to be a part of that process. Don't just tell them, but also invite them to be a part of that process in understanding how to solve their needs. As they are explaining to you what they are upset about, start to formulate a solution in your mind. And even if you have to tell them no, goes back to what I said earlier. Try to seek out those alternate ways in where you can resolve their issue, and keep them in the loop. Even if you have to, you know, return a phone call or return an email, even if you have to hang up from that call to do more research, keep your clients and your customers in the loop. That just helps them to feel a little bit more secure that the buck will stop with you. There are times where we have customers that we just cannot provide whatever services, whether it goes above you or you have to get somebody else involved. But understand what your limits are and be honest with your customers in what you can and you cannot do. Okay, so explain to them why you have to either escalate them to another department, to another individual, or if you're just not able to solve their issue. Be honest with them. Don't set them up for failure, and be transparent and let them know why. And if you can, offer alternatives. So, in dealing with difficult customers or upset customers, it's very important, like I stated earlier, manage your emotions, keep your composure. Don't escalate the situation by engaging them into an argument, okay? You want to keep yourself calm because let's let's be honest, nobody likes to feel as if they are being attacked, but you are the professional. So it's very important for you to make sure that you remain the professional. You keep your composure and don't engage them into an argument. So when providing great customer service, we understand that sometimes things will still escalate. Despite you doing everything that you possibly can, sometimes it still escalates, okay? In providing customer service, I don't want to leave anybody under the impression that you have to put up with abuse, okay? Yes, we're here to make sure that our customer needs are met. Yes, we're here to make sure that our customers have a great experience. But in those rare occurrences, if you have a customer that is threatening you, intimidating you, or using foul or vulgar language, it's very important for you to take control of that situation and make sure that you are protected and your customers are protected, okay? Let your clients know in a professional manner that it is not okay for them to use profane language at you, okay? It's very important for you not to feel as if you were being abused. So, yes, you can set the tone and take control over that conversation because no one will, expect you to sit there and let somebody abuse you, okay? That's not what we're saying. So in dealing with the vulgar insults, stop it early. It's okay to let your clients or your customer know that, hi, that yes, I'm here to help you as much as I possibly can. However, I cannot allow this conversation to go any further if you continue to use vulgar language. Just that simple. So now you're putting the ball into your customer's court. They can either choose to stop the profane language and express themselves in a manner that you feel respected and they are also being respected, or in the conversation. Invite them to call back once they, are able to relay what their concerns are in a manner that you can understand so you can properly handle that. But no, you do not have to sit there and get abused. So stop that conversation early. If you don't stop it early, Sometimes it can lead to people thinking that they can continue that behavior. And 9 times out of 10, it will continue to escalate. Okay. So if someone is threatening legal actions against you, do not offer your interpretation about their legal threats. Okay. If you are not the person to speak on legal matters, then you can direct them to the individual or the department or whoever third party you may have that would deal with that legal matter. If you are not the supervisor of your company, that organization, then you want to inform your supervisor immediately, but do not engage into any, legal disputes if that's above your what you handle. Go also with physical threats. Take physical threats seriously. Do not take it lightly. We see it all the time where, things escalate or things happen in the workplace because someone did not take it seriously. So if you're being threatened or your coworkers are being threatened, then make sure that you take immediate action to make sure that you, as well as your coworkers, are safe at all times. So, in dealing with customers and also providing customer service, you want to make sure that you're always leaving a lasting impression. Even if you have to tell your customers no, you can tell them no with a smile. You can tell them no and still have them feel as if you had their best interest at heart. So here's a few tips. We are wrapping up. Few tips um, in making sure that you are delivering great customer service. Number one, you want to always greet your customer with a smile. You want to be helpful. Know your business, know your products or your services. You should know what you're selling like the back of your hand. If you don't, study your craft. Know what your customers, because it's very frustrating when you go to a place and you ask for advice and the sales clerk don't even know where to begin, right? So if you're selling a product, take the time to know it and to understand it. Don't make your customers feel inadequate. Listen to them. Treat your customers the way you want to be treated, right? Everybody wants to feel important and appreciated. So make them feel welcome. Make things easy for them. And when you can, say please and thank you. And if you can offer them, a coupon or anything, especially if they are disgruntled or, have a bad experiences, if there is an alternative to turning that frown upside down, if you are able to do that, then offer them a little bit something extra. All right, so we are at the end. We are offering a free guide to this course to anyone as a thank you for attending this event. So if you would like a free customer guide to this event, just visit our website at www.klmservicesconsulting.com to join our newsletter. If you will also like for coaching or consulting services, you can visit us. You can visit me directly on Linktree. You can go to Linktree/Keever Murdaugh. You can follow us on all social media at KLM Services Consulting on Facebook and Instagram. And we are also a media sponsor for this great event. So if you would like to be a guest on our show, you can visit us at Keever's Place, KeeversPlace. So I hope you have found this workshop today on customer service to be valuable. And I hope that you are able to use this immediately into your organization and business to set your business up for success in dealing with your customers or your client. So again, thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Testing, testing. Can you hear me? All right. Well, that's the wrong mic, but hopefully it'll work because we are about to wrap up this section of the broadcast. This was the live section of the broadcast. Some of the talks that we had today were pre-recorded, but most of these in the morning, especially tomorrow and Friday, are live talks. So you're going to have more live content. But right now, we want to hurry up and we want to get over to. Let me drop the right banner in there. We want to go over to Women's Wealth Summit Live. Oops, not that one. That's a good one. Look, y'all, go support CoWano Stanley's stuff. Her confidence building information. We want to go to Women's Wealth Summit Live.com and catch the broadcast portion of this show. I am going to attempt to broadcast it to my Facebook and YouTube channels. However, that's always a little sticky, and I don't make any guarantees on that, but there are 3 separate rooms. So if there's a particular speaker that you really want to see, grab your event guide, okay, which you can only get at womenswealthsummit.com. Okay, grab your event guide and head on over to figure out which room you want to be in. All right, but they're all good. They're all amazing. So far, you can see that these speakers, they really bring the fire. They bring the heat. They're increasing our confidence and encouraging us and empowering us that we can win with money. You absolutely can. Dump debt. Be wealthy and prosper. It's not too complicated. You're not too busy. It's not a man's domain. This is for each and every person under the sound of my voice, male or female. You absolutely can do this. If I can get out of $845,000 of debt, I've got one little house left to sell. But if I can be almost out of $845,000 of debt, then you can do anything when it comes to money, y'all. All right, come on. Join me over at Women's Wealth Summit Live.com.